for people to jump on to get notified that we're actually going live. So I'm just going to recap of what we've actually gone through today. And I'd also like to take this time to give Tom a shout out. He has just become the first person to be a member on my channel, which is a milestone for me. I'd like to give you a big thank you, Tom. I have put a personal video up for you in the members section, so if you want to click on that, you can see that yourself. I've done a lot of recaps on there and explained what we've actually done today as well. So that's a personalized video just for you. So we're just going to wait for everyone to jump on here, and we'll just do a little recap of what we've done today. Now, I do want to point out, I have had a bit of a nightmare today. We had a few little issues we had to deal with, and I've actually managed to sort them all out. And that's the beauty of this game we're in. We got to be good at problem solving to get through them. So we're just waiting for everyone to jump on this video now, and then I'll go through a few pointers, a few things I had to overcome today, and what I've actually done today. Now, this is a simple job. Well, I say simple, it's never simple, is it? But what I do want to point out is, basically, I've taken on a job. We've got a custom build going on in a property not too far from where I live. We've made big, massive base units. Well, I say they're big. They're about 1650 long because we're putting 3 550 doors in a row. Now, the customer for this job, I showed her this door by her as a sample. I said, these are the sorts of doors I make, but obviously we can adjust the amount of depth that we use on the chamfer and the amount of roundover we do, which they said, can we do that when I'm in their property, which I said is fine. They like this sort of door. They wanted to go over shaker panel. So I said, that's okay. We can make them for you. And then I got to yesterday on the job. And when we got to yesterday then, they actually said to me, Mark, can I send you a photo of a different door? We'd like to change the design of the door. So I said, that's fine. She said she wanted a beaded moulding on there. I said, that's not a problem. I have done ones with smaller mouldings, but these are the ones she liked. So anyway, we go ahead. I've picked up the beadings, and I've realised that when I'm going to be putting my 9mm panel in the door, I thought we were going to blow out the back of the door. But luckily enough, I've managed to fit a 9mm panel in this door, and I've actually managed to get this moulded beading in there. So I'll show you the beading. Alright, here's the beading we've used on the job. Alright, it's not too thick. This is a 6mm thick beading. Now, bearing in mind, using a 9mm MDF board with a 6mm beading doesn't give you a lot to play with, does it? So, we're going to stop a sec because we're going to wait to see if people are jumping on this live. Obviously, there's no one on here yet, so I think I'll just shut up and then I can explain everything. So as I'm waiting around for people to jump on the live, I may as well go ahead and do a little bit of sanding that I need to get on with quickly. It is knocking on a bit. The missus ain't feeling too grand today, so I just said I'm going to pop out here for half hour, and then we'll go in and have a bit of grub and everything then. So I'm just going to sand these up, and then I'll explain what we done today while we wait for someone to jump on here, because it is quiet on here today. got people on here yet? Yes, we got a couple on. We're just waiting for a few more to join in on the live, and then I'll explain what we've done today to everyone. We've had quite a busy day. We've had a nice few problems as well, but we've overcome them. So yeah, I'm just going to sand these now and finish these up for the day. Go through a little recap about what we've done when everyone's on here, and then I'll go and have my food then. And try not to sand these too much, because obviously we want to give them the 24 hours curing time on the glue. But these doors are nice and solid. I'm happy with them. They've turned out nice today. They've been a bit of a task putting this beaded moulding in, but it all finishes flush with the rails and stiles on the doors. So it does look nice. I know you might be looking at it and saying, oh, that's all different colours, blah, blah, blah. But I will tell you, once these are all painted up, they're going to look absolutely fabulous on the job. I know they're nice and solid. So yeah, I'm just going to sand these up quickly now. Where can I put them? I'll put them down by here because I want to keep them nice and flat. See? I want to keep them flat. So yes, we've had a lot of fun and games today. We had a few problems on these doors, and I will show you what the issue was. The issue was just installing one of these. Now these are 6mm thick, alright? This beading is 6mm thick, and I normally, when I set my panel, I use a 9mm panel, like I've got in here, and I got my 18mm MDF, and I create my shaker by setting my panel in the center of the 18mm timber. So it gives you a nice little lip, and it also gives you a chance to chamfer this area here. But the customer said they do not want the chamfer to run through there yesterday. They said, can I install beadings on there? So I said I will. I said I can't see it being much of a problem, but I did mention to them that we might have a problem with the back of the door. Now I thought maybe I wouldn't have none of this lip left and we'd be able to see this. So this is the small issue I come across. We got this very thin lip blocks here. I got a little hole. I got to put a bit of filler in there. But apart from that, this is the worst door out of the 6. This is the only one I had the little problem with, but there, and it's turned out quite nice. So sometimes we say we can do things for customers, and I will say sometimes we shoot ourselves in the foot, because when we actually come to making them, we realise there's other problems along the line, and we think we can't produce the goods for the customer. But I'm really happy. I've had an hard day on these doors today, but I will say I've done exactly what the customer wants on this job. And that's all I wanted to accomplish today. I've made what they wanted. I've used the materials that they've asked for. So when I go and produce these doors on the job in the morning and show them, they're going to be really happy. So all I haven't done to these doors today, I haven't rounded these edges over, because I'm not 100% if the customer would like a round over or would they like to go with a chamfer finish on the door. Now we are going with a more traditional look on this build that I'm doing with these cupboards, but these customers, they cannot picture nothing. So that's all my problem has been all week, they can't see the end result. Every time I go to do something, they say, can we get back to you on that later? I don't know what it's going to look like. We don't know what the measure, and it's been a bloody nightmare. I'm not going to lie, but I'm getting there. So these doors will be edged tomorrow. They will be all finished up tomorrow, and then I can get on with undercoating them and finish them off. So all I'm going to do now is sand these. All right. They're nice and solid. They're all right to work with now. You don't want to go playing around too much. These did get made a couple of hours ago. The glue is still setting up. It takes 24 hours to cure. Here's the glue I've used today. I've gone with a Titebond Premium. This is the Titebond 2. It's a premium. It's an interior and exterior wood glue. I do normally use the Titebond Original, but this one was recommended to me by someone who follows my channel, and that will be Denny. He's always on here. He's a regular boy. He gives me some good advice as well, and I'm always willing to take that advice on. That's been a lovely glue. I do like it. You've got a nice time when you're clamping up with this glue. It's obviously good for chopping boards and things like that with the interior and exterior use. But they do say don't submerge that wood glue in water. So that's been a great glue. I'm well happy with that. So I'm just going to carry on with these quickly. We're just going to sand these off. And then once I've sanded all these, I can down tools for the day, leave these set overnight, and then transport these to the job in the morning. So who's on ya? Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow as well. And I'd just like to point out we've had our first member as well. We got our first member on the channel, which is Tom. He's subscribed to the channel and he's a paying member now, which is great. So that's going to help out a lot for my channel to help it grow. And yeah, I have sent him a private video, so I'm hoping he's watching that now. And I'm just going to go ahead and sand these up then. Good section on that sander then. So yeah, I'm just giving them a light sand. I'm not going too wild, just tidying areas up. Got to put a touch of filler in that corner, but that's nothing to worry about. And apart from that, these doors have turned out fabulous. Like I said, I'm not going too wild on the sanding, but these have turned out nice. We've got a nice flush beaded moulding, something different. Obviously, I've shown you different styles of doors that I make. I haven't been making doors for many years, mind. A lot of the doors you see on my channel are first time doors. But yeah, we got some lovely doors on the go here. We got 6 of them going in tomorrow, which I'm happy about. It's always nice to knock out a nice few doors in one day. So we've done all right today. I've managed to make the 6. So I'm happy with that. Normally I've made 4 or 5 in one day, but I've done 6 today. So I'm really happy with that. These are quite flush. They don't need hardly any sanding. I thought I might have had to move these higher today. I thought that may have been an issue and I might have had to sand it that bit off. But I'm lucky. These are nice and flush. And like I said, we've still got the panel inside here on the lip, and that's all I wanted out of today. That is the result for me, and I'm well happy with that. So I'm just going to go ahead and sand these. If you've got any questions, drop them in the comments as well. Don't forget to like, subscribe and follow because it helps my channel grow. And there's also a members section if any of you want to join. We've just had our first member today, which is great. And I just want to say another thank you to Tom for becoming his first member. What did he say to me the other day? I think he said he's in the Navy. I think he said he's in the Navy and he was in Indonesia on a battleship somewhere, he said. And he said he wanted to become a member of my channel. And that was about 6 weeks ago. And then lo and behold, today then, he just sent me a comment, which I haven't replied to yet. I am going to when I get in the bath. And yeah, he's just said he's become a member, so that is great. We're over the moon with that. And he's going to watch back all the lives. So oh, look at that. Let's change this pad on this sander. And this is what wood glue does to your pad. See all those bits on there? We're not really sanding well with all that on there. So I'll chuck a new pad on there. Let's have a look what we got here. I have got some up here lying about in a box. So I'm just going to grab myself a pad. Obviously I'm a bit quiet at the moment today.